I need a change. You've been cold to me too many times. You're wasting money. You're a leaker. So I'm replacing you with a new Navien tankless water heater. No more cold shoulders, no more leaks. Just spa-like comfort and Navien peace of mind. And oh, I want you out today.
When you're ready for a change, ask your plumber about Navien or visit tanklessmadesimple.com.
Count on Navien.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. A Wendy's employee thought it would be funny to take a bubble bath in the kitchen restaurant. However, this was shared on social media, so the employee got fired.
When doing something really messed up, don't put it on social media.
I don't know if the employee expected to, but they were they were helpless because they got into this gigantic sink, those big sinks they have in the kitchen.
I'm looking at the picture right now. It's a big ass sink.
And so they filled it with bubble bath. He did. And he gets in. And then, of course, somebody takes pictures. And what are you going to do at that point? They're not your pictures.
And it was a Snapchat video.
Oh, it was a video.
And then you could save the video. And then the person who made the video then popped it up on Facebook.
Oh,
but he knew he was getting filmed. She kept saying stuff to him and everything.
Yeah.
Well, more importantly, they've gotten nearly 1 million views on it.
Well, that's important. That's very,
Right.
I mean, that and here's how that went down.
Go. Oh. Take a bath. Get in there. How's it feel? It's warm. Turn the jets on. Wash your armpits. Ooh, yeah, ooh. Let's see those toes, boy. Let's see them toes. Ooh.
I mean, she's got a future in being a director in certain
she does.
movies.
You're right. Wow. Yeah, this is her first film, and I think it was successful. I want to see more.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, a Wendy's spokesperson said, quote, "Our franchisee is taking this incident seriously and is obviously totally unacceptable. This was a prank by a person who no longer works at this restaurant and who clearly did not use good judgment."
I like that they needed to put out a statement about this.
I'm not, I'm not mad at this guy. It's like he's in a sink. It has soap. You wash dishes in those big sinks, and he gets in there and he's just taking a bath. It's a silly thing. It's not like they mess with my food or anything. I really, Vicky, you don't think that's you're not happy with the guy?
Well, if they're doing that kind of crap, I can't really expect them to be cleaning the sink afterwards or cleaning up after themselves. If they're this dumb, I'm not expecting great things from them.
Wow.
You want to know that somebody just washed their stinky ass body in the same place where you're washing somebody's dishes?
And how do we know he didn't,
I guess they don't really use dishes at Wendy's.
Yeah.
Still, though, all the tongs and everything they use to cook your food, and we don't know if he didn't go, number one in the tub.
Oh, wow.
You're really, you never know.
Wow, you are really projecting a lot
I
of
just have to assume the worst.
Yeah.
Because it's icky.
Boy, it sounds like me. I mean, I'm surprised I'm the one I'm surprised I'm the one that has no problem with this. Why is that? Wow.
There's an employee from Wendy's that must either work there or I work at a different Wendy's, went on the Facebook post and said, what's the big deal? He was off the clock and this repulsive incident was 2 minutes long. People have done it before, and the only reason why it's a problem now is because old people have access to Facebook.
Ooh.
It's the old people, but the old guy here in the room doesn't have a problem.
I know it's actually the old lady in a young woman's body.
Yes.
Yep. That bothers me too.
Wow.
I don't know why. Just something about it, just gross.
See, it doesn't bother me one bit because this does not impact a Frosty whatsoever.
No.
And as long as that chocolate Frosty's not being effed with, I'm going to enjoy it.
I mean,
that's all I get at Wendy's, so I'm not worried.
Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of hard to assume that if they're going to be doing silly stuff like that, they're not doing silly stuff to your Frosties.
See, I feel like this guy's just trying to improve workplace morale.
Exactly. The two of them are having fun.
They get drunk at work like the rest of us.
Wow, I cannot believe you just assume that somebody who's having fun, just, doing a little thing I think that's cool. I see those big kitchen tubs, and it's like, oh, it'd be kind of fun to see if you could get in there and take a bath. I mean, to me, it's harmless, and you're assuming they're messing with my food?
Yeah.
Wow.
Somebody says, I've worked in a kitchen. I don't bathe at work, but I definitely have washed my hair at the end of a shift in the pot and pan sink.
Yeah, I mean, so what?
I feel like hair is very different than the rest of your body. Than your nether region, especially if he's I don't know, I'm just grossed out.
Wow, she's just a germaphobe.
Yeah, that's Vicky's problem. What is your problem, Danny?
I don't know. It just bothers me. Watching him get in the sink, I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing at work? Come on. Even if he was off the clock, what are you
doing at work?
You're making the rest of us look even worse.
But I mean, you guys are all about wanting to have fun at work, and who is he harming?
Having a bath in a sink is not fun.
Oh.
I think it's hysterical.
Have you tried it?
Yeah. Yes, I have actually.
At a Wendy's?
0, no.
Wow. So
I would love the opportunity to bathe in a sink. You haven't been able to do that since you were a child.
That's exactly it. Yeah, that's old school for you and I.
And
Steve.
it's got jets.
Did you guys ever get bathed in a sink when you were little?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So how come you don't want to? Why do you want to relive it?
Because they're adults and are at the workplace, and God forbid you have fun at the workplace.
I'd rather be in a hot tub. There's more space.
I thought it was your generation that said to have fun.
Yeah, they don't have a hot tub at Wendy's.
That's
Vicky.
the problem.
Exactly. They need
Wendy's
to pull one
needs
in.
hot tubs.
Oh my God! Could you imagine?
There we go.
Yeah, if Wendy's had a hot tub, we could have avoided all this.
Mm-hmm.
I just, I don't know if I can go to Wendy's anymore now that they don't have hot tubs.
But they're bringing back those spicy chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh,
perfect.
really?
All right.
That's the best part.
All right.
Man.
What if we put those in the sink? That's kind of like a hot tub then, right?
Somebody says, what if they're washing lettuce or tomatoes in that sink? Well, they got to clean out the sink regardless.
Yeah, I mean...
But are they?
Yeah, but what about when they wash the greasy pans or whatever they got in the sink? It's the same deal. You got to rinse, right? I mean, you still got a lot of gunk in there that eventually you have soap, you have water in a place that's what a sink is. I mean, you're washing everything in there. What difference does it make if it's a human being or if it's like greasy whatever? Who cares?
I don't know. I feel like human germs are grosser than, food germs.
So decaying animal flesh germs you think are better than a human being? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, at least we know how she thinks.
Okay. Damn, dude. I have been into being those like garbage crusher things and from the meat department. I will take a human being. I will take a human being bathing in a sink than anything the meat department would do at a supermarket in a sink any day of the week.
Well, I'm craving a double Baconator. I don't know about you guys.
Dude, please.
And their French fries are fantastic.
Yeah, good
maybe
call.
this is the secret to their French fries tasting so good.
Oh, it could be the human human element. Okay, I like that.
It's the lukewarm topic of the day.
And why is she so obsessed with seeing his toes?
Well, again, she's got a fetish. People have fetishes. Steve.
Show us your toes.
Yeah, some people have a fetish.
Tree, that's the only creepy part.
That's the only part that turns you off.
Yeah.
That's like, if she didn't say that, I'd be fine with the whole thing. Well, the Wendy's employee did get fired after taking a bubble bath in a restaurant sink. What about the person that filmed it, though, and recorded it, right? They're not in trouble?
Yeah, I guess not.
I think they should be just as much trouble. They're the one that put it out there and made Wendy's look bad, if you believe they look bad.
Yeah, they're snitching, man.
That's a good point.
Only the person that
Way
did
to
the
go,
act.
50 Cent, Rev.
Yeah. Man. Well, we want to know this, man. Because this bubble bath incident got an employee fired, how about you? When did you or someone you know do something at work that you or they deserve to be fired for?
It's the lukewarm topic of the day.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. A Wendy's employee was fired after taking a bubble bath in the restaurant sink. Based on this, and of course it was shared on Snapchat and Facebook. That's how people found out about it, and they got gassed. How about you? How about you or someone you know? Did you guys do something at work that you deserve to be fired for? 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999.
Oh. The texts are flying in, BJ. We got a few good ones. This person says, I used to grow pot behind my last job's building. I did that for a few years.
Whoa.
Nice.
That is pretty bold.
Yeah.
That is amazingly bold.
Another person said, while I was working in a cadaver room, I would hide under the sheets on an empty table. When my coworker came in, I wiggled my feet and sat up. They freaked out.
And they got fired for that?
Or he just said that he probably should have been fired for that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to say, that's
I hope you don't get fired for that. It seems like a fun way just to kind of make a really weird job.
That would scare the S out of me. But what if somebody had a heart attack?
That's what I was thinking.
Or peed themselves.
Yeah.
Okay, if they pee themselves, that'd be a little funny. But
yeah. Damn, I know, dude. But that's what I'm always afraid of. That's why I don't want to go into those places. Because even if someone's going to pull that prank if they know like some rando like me's coming in.
I don't know why I love this one, and it sounds very dangerous, but still awesome. I'm a former lifeguard. My coworkers and I used to play tennis across the pool after hours. The tennis balls were usually on fire.
Nice.
Wow. That is hardcore.
We need video of that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's smart because you're doing it across the pool, so if it falls, it'll just kind of extinguish.
Okay.
Let's do it.
And you don't mind swimming in that pool. See, Vicky doesn't mind that. See, that's something.
It's fire. It's not human, poo particles.
Wow, you are just a you are a germaphobe. We live in a world of poo, right? You understand?
No,
it's everywhere.
No.
It's all around.
Convinced myself it's not.
It's all around this console. Just look at Steve.
A public pool is way more disgusting probably than what that guy did in the sink.
And I haven't been in a public pool in a long time.
Yeah, that's true. Let's go to Katie in Renton. Katie, you are on the rock.
Hi, guys. How are you guys doing?
Good, Katie. How about you? When did you do something at work that you should have been fired for?
Well, it was a coworker of mine, and he stole about $10,000, if not more, of clients' money, and sold their money. Yeah, sold their money on as gift cards online.
So, Katie, how did he have access to their money?
So we had clients that had special orders. So we had their information on file because we were waiting for the product to come in. And he would take their information and he would refund partial amounts of their, appliances and things like that. And then he would keep the gift card because you can return it as a gift card if you didn't have the quote card on file.
Whoa.
So he kept the gift card and would sell the gift cards online.
Oh, man. So here I am waiting for my item. It doesn't come in. I've already been charged, but as far as the company knows, I've been refunded, and he's got my money. Wow.
Yes. Yes.
Tens of thousands of dollars this guy scammed. How did he get it? Somebody finally caught him?
Yes. Finally, there was a huge investigation, and he was actually a really nice guy. Everybody loved him. He was actually going to go far in the company, and then that happened. It was just the last person you thought to expect.
Now, to go far in the company, Katie, was he really a moron and he could have made a great living if he'd stopped doing that? Because, it's hard to turn down, tens of thousands of dollars that you're just getting at any moment. Could he have really made a good living in that company?
Absolutely.
Wow, what an idiot.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. What an idiot, indeed.
Yeah, dang, appreciate the call. Man, how about you? Like, everybody loves you, but see, watch out for those charming guys.
It's the charming and the quiet guys.
It's the charming.
Those are the two guys we have to worry about.
Got to watch out for those guys.
Yep.
206-42 on Rock. Text us at 77999. Let's go to Rob in Tacoma. Rob, you are on the Rock.
Good morning, BJ.
Well, good morning, Rob. So what's your story, dude? How did you almost get fired?
So I was working in a warehouse, and we had these, stand-up forklifts that you stand, inside of it instead of sitting down.
Oh, okay.
And it had this foot pedal that was the emergency brake. So you controlled it with a lever for the speed, but if you lifted your foot off, the thing would come to a stop. So I was cruising down the back aisle, taking it to the charger, and I was like, I wonder how fast this thing will stop without slowing down.
Oh, boy.
So I was getting closer and closer to the charger, and I let off the foot pedal. Well, it stopped, but the ground was dirty, so it slid. And I crashed into the charger, pushed the charger through the wall, and it knocked the urinal off the wall in the bathroom and shot a geyser of water until we went out and shut the water off and almost flooded the downstairs.
Damn. That is epic. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
I
didn't get fired.
Damn, dude. You did not get fired even though you did all that.
So what was the conversation
I had to go take a drug test, but I passed the drug test, and I just said, it didn't stop. It didn't stop.
You're like, I'm not high, I'm just stupid.
Yeah, I just played dumb and said it didn't stop, but, I was being stupid and seeing how close I could get to make it stop, and it didn't stop.
Yeah, they had to, I'm sure they had to know, here we go.
Yeah, it was hilarious, but
and that's when they
we all do dumb stuff when we're young.
And luckily nobody was using that urinal. That would have been a beating.
Yeah, for real. It was the customer bathroom, too.
Yeah, that would have, the customer bathroom? Damn.
Yeah.
Whoa, oh, man, you are so lucky, Rob.
Yeah,
oh,
rock
man.
on, you guys.
Take it easy,
Take care,
buddy.
man.
Appreciate it. Wow. That's nuts, dude. Damn.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. All right. From time to time, we like to make you feel like you're old by telling you what millennials have never done that you were like, I used to, what? Really?
Okay.
They've never done this. According to a new study, millions of millennials have never read a paper map. Like, if you're trying to go somewhere and, you got to map it out, like, get one of those Thomas Guide-y things.
Yeah. Does it count? Do we count reading MapQuest or like when you print that sheet?
That was a really big thing when I was in high school.
Because that's as close as I get to reading a map. I've never read a map either.
Wow.
Really?
And you're a Generation Xer, so you really are like the last holdout. I think it's got to be one of those fold-out maps you could get from AAA or somewhere. Rand McNally.
Was that?
Thomas Guide.
That's my dad was all about that. I don't think I ever read a map out of just to rebel against my father. I know, crazy rebellious thing to do. But like, he was all about reading those maps, highlighting the trip.
Yeah.
And I was more about, hey, just give me a couple of like landmarks that I'm supposed to turn at. Whenever someone told me to go somewhere, I'd just be like, oh, where do I make a left? Okay, cool. I'll write that down.
I feel like you're a millennial at heart.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
hate maps.
Yeah, I did too. But unfortunately, that's all I had to go on, and I had a terrible sense of direction, so I had to figure these maps out because I just couldn't figure it out by just driving.
I always felt bad for my mom because she'd be like, Roseanne, where am I supposed to turn? And she's got like this giant map open in the passenger seat.
Oh yeah.
And like, where is it highlighted? She's like, I can't tell because she's like, she couldn't see all that great. It's tiny.
Yeah.
The map.
Yeah, exactly. Oh hey. Wow. That's why I love the triptych. You guys remember those?
No.
Was that a AAA thing?
Yeah.
Where you would, I think when we moved from Plattsburgh, my college buddies and I, to Seattle, someone in our crew called AAA and asked them to send us the map or like whatever. Like it was almost like they mailed you a MapQuest.
Oh, they sent you so many cool.
Oh.
They sent you a map. They gave you the map, but then they gave you this fold-out notebook-like thing that basically had turn by turn. Here's what you do. It was really
nice.
It was awesome. That's why I love being a member of AAA. I still am.
And if memory serves me correct, didn't they also send like little discounts on hotels?
Oh yeah. They still have that.
Little pamphlets and flyers. Yeah.
Yeah, you can still get that. If you're a member of AAA, they'll tell you all the, I save all the time.
That privilege.
Oh, dude, every hotel I stay at, they now just go, are you a member of AAA? And I get a discount.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, hells yeah.
I'm going to surprise you guys. I have actually had to use a map before.
What?
Because that was a requirement in my driver's ed class.
Oh, really?
Yeah, our teacher's like, I don't care. I know you have MapQuest, but you're going to learn how to use this.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I did it once.
Just one time?
Just the one time, just to prove I could do it.
In school. I mean, that was real. Like, we had to learn how to read atlases, and that was about the most I got to a map. But I've never actually looked up like a map to go off of that.
Wow.
Or I guess like MapQuest, did that count?
That's
what Steve asked, and I don't think so.
Yeah,
because you still can get turn-by-turn directions from MapQuest if you wanted to.
Yeah, but I never looked at a map. It was
just the map next to it, so I felt like we were reading maps.
Yeah. No, this one you really had to look at the map and you had to draw the route out. Even with the triptych, it showed like in a map form.
Yeah, using the highlighter beforehand, plotting the whole thing out. I remember having to do that. I've gone on a couple road trips solo, and I literally was just buying one of those giant atlases from a gas station and mapping it out, and then almost missing a couple of exits because I'm half paying attention.
So my dad's been working at Comcast for many, many years now. And before they had GPSs, I remember my dad had this giant, almost like binder-looking thing with basically every single street in this area.
Oh.
So my dad would like flip it open. He's like, okay, well, let's go. We're going to go to Everett and go through these. And I'm like, I don't know what this means as a little kid.
It's so funny.
But they were just so detailed. And now you can't trust them because roads are changing. They're doing so many construction here.
You don't need them.
And we don't need them. I love it. I love my dad. God bless my dad. But he's like, hey, do you know how to get to this place? I'm like, yeah, Dad, I'll just put it into my GPS. It's fine. He's like, okay, well, first you're going to go north and then I'm like,
you don't have to. You don't have to tell me, Dad.
Don't need any of that anymore.
But I don't want to like burst his bubbles. I'm like, Dad. Yeah. Okay. I'm totally remembering this. No.
I mean, it's a great skill to be able to know where you are. But I've never been able to do it. I was always the frustration of anybody in my family. My father tried to teach me. My wife laughs at me, but I thank God for all the like Google Maps or whatever because I would never be able to get around. I never could.
Yeah, dude, when I first moved out here, I mean, part of how I got to know the city was just like, okay, I got to go to this place. It's on First Avenue. Great. I'll just drive until I see numbers and then keep going. And I would get lost a lot, but that's how I got to know the city. And then also quickly got infuriated because nothing makes sense here when you first move out here. You're like, what? This First Avenue South, son of a bitch. And then you try to figure this all out. And
that's why I had to remember the poem, which I've told you about.
Yep.
Yeah, so that I could, Jesus Christ made Seattle under pressure so that I could know all the J streets, the C streets, so you got Columbia, and you got Madison, and that's how I know Spring. I knew which way I'm going because I'm going towards Jesus or away from Jesus. Am I going to James? No, I'm going away from it. Okay.
Funny enough, I know how to maneuver through different neighborhoods of Seattle because back in my younger years especially, and I was banging a bunch of dudes sometimes at once.
Hey,
and they all lived in different neighborhoods. So I figured out where the best parking spots are. I can get to, I can maneuver around Pioneer and Pike Place Market, Capitol Hill.
That's funny.
It's like, that's because I'm like, oh yeah, the dude I used to bang lived right over there.
See that?
And over there. And
who says wanton sex doesn't help you?
Yeah, I've learned plenty of things.
Yeah.
I remember my old car, in the backseat, you had that little pouch, like the kangaroo pouch.
Oh, yeah.
You would reach in there, and it was a ridiculous amount of printed MapQuest and Google Maps for all of my friends. So if I ever needed, oh, crap, I got to go visit Danny. All right, let me get in the back and reach out. I'm like, oh, there's this person. There's this. There's Danny's thing.
Good call.
But that's how I used to keep all my addresses.
It's almost like a Rolodex, but just
an organized mess.
I kept a
so
school
I figured out
notebook.
how to get there.
I kept a school notebook. People came down and they looked at my house and they go, what are all those old school notebooks for? And I said, oh, those are all my directions I printed out for everybody's place.
See,
I have an alphabetical, and then I would just pull them out with a 3-ring binder.
See, you were smart. You alphabetized it.
See, that's what it was. And then I could put it back when I was done. Yeah, but you and I had the same idea. You just weren't, you were like, I don't have time for that. I'll just stuff it in the bag.
I'll just grab them all and find it eventually. Or I'll be like, you know what? I don't really need to hang out with Danny. There's Rev's address. I'll go see Rev instead. Sweet.
Yeah, I don't know if I know some years ago I finally got rid of all the Thomas guides. I was like, yeah, because I bought a Thomas guide when I first moved here because it was 20 years ago. So, I was like, I need a Seattle Thomas guide. I don't know where the hell I am. And then I think a few years ago, I got rid of it. I bet I should have kept it. I bet it's going to be like an artifact.
It will not be.
What if everybody throws them all away and then someone makes $1 skillion because they're the only ones that have the Seattle Thomas guide?
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, that's the hoarder in you talking.
Do they still sell maps? Like, does Rand McNally, are they still in business?
I would imagine so.
I feel bad for Rand McNally because you think they would have been the guys that came up with, the phone map stuff.
Who was it? Was like TomTom and Garmin were the big ones.
TomTom, I still have a TomTom, even though it's...
I still have a TomTom in my glove box I haven't used in at least 7 years.
Yeah, Sarah has a Garmin in her glove box. I have the TomTom app on my iPhone, which isn't great. And,
hey, I just looked online. Rand McNally still has the Road Atlas. They're putting it out for 2020.
Wow.
And it's still that big, gigantic one that you always remember.
Are they able to make enough money? I guess they are.
They're still putting them out.
Wow.
Who's buying it?
Old people.
But it's still small print. I think your phone can be made bigger than whatever they can show you. Well, all right. I guess people just can't work their phone. By the way, even if you do have Google Maps or anything like that, even though it's much better in my mind, you still can get lost.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and it happened. And again, I think this person should never drive again. He's 81 years old. He's from England. He recently wanted to drive to Rome and visit the Vatican and see the Pope. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, you can do that. Instead of typing Rome, R-O-M-E, he typed R-O-M into his GPS,
Rom.
which then led him to a town called Rom in northwest Germany, roughly 1,000 miles from Rome.
Oh, no.
And unless he knows German, I don't that's the thing about driving in Europe is that you can find out quickly when you're not in the right place because you should start seeing a language that makes no sense to you.
Right.
And, he got there. He was confused. He's like, where the heck's the Vatican? And when he got out of his car, he forgot to put on the parking brake, so it rolled down a hill and crashed into his side.
Oh, jeez.
So this guy's having a great day.
So welcome to another country. You might not know the language, and also you just wrecked your car.
Yeah, he's 81, so I think he's done, right? He can't drive anymore.
Yeah, I mean, at some point you got to figure this out.
Yeah,
and if you can't, you actually... Because I've had that happen on the GPS where I've typed something in quick, and I'm like, okay, go. And then I look, I'm like, why is it going to take me 14 hours to get to Tukwila? And I realize, I typed in the wrong place.
Yeah.
And it's sending me to somewhere like in Nevada or something like that. But you look at your thing and you're like, well, that's going to take a lot longer than it's supposed to. Maybe I should recheck it.
Unless you're drunk and you do the Lyft situation, I've accidentally tried to send a Lyft from Snohomish to my old place in Seattle. And $50 later, I realized my mistake.
And I can't throw stones, man, because I was in Wyoming. And you when you lose GPS, when you lose the coverage, the cell coverage, the map still keeps working.
Today's podcast is brought to you by bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne, who's ready to answer your questions about bankruptcy. Travis, is it true that if you filed for bankruptcy once, you can't file again?
Even if you filed bankruptcy before, you can almost certainly file bankruptcy again. Different types of bankruptcies have different time limits between filings. In Chapter 7, full bankruptcy, you can only file Chapter 7 once every 8 years. However, you can almost always file a Chapter 13 case. Chapter 13 cases can be filed immediately following a Chapter 7. They can be filed immediately following a prior Chapter 13 case. Chapter 13 is a reorganization plan, so there will be some type of monthly payment, but it's based on your budget and your ability to afford that payment. So Chapter 13 is an option in almost all cases, even with a prior bankruptcy filing.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.
You can tell when your car battery's dying. But with your water heater, you'll never know until it starts leaking. Before you buy another tank, consider a Navien tankless water heater. No storage tank to heat or leak. Lower energy bills and endless hot water for spa-like comfort. All backed by Navien's strong warranty. If your water heater is over 8 years old, it's time to check out Navien at tanklessmadesimple.com.
Count on Navien.